guys, welcome back to the Bucket Think Tank, another round of comic chat. And so our Funko of the day is a new one we got. Couldn't help myself. Jiraiya Sage Mode. Like, I was just strolling through, I saw it, I had to have it. Yeah, it's actually, like, I already like the Jiraiya I have. I'll show it next time. But it is like Jiraiya's last fight, last big moment on screen. I'm like, you know what? We're going to have it. We're going to get it. So anyway, shakes a bit more than the other one. So anyway, our continuation for this one is going to be Batman. It's been a while since we came to Batman because we're doing the whole 3-in-1s, so 3 issues in one go. And this has just been really fun. I really liked it. We get a whole story as to how Joker came to be after the whole falling of the acid, becoming obsessed with Batman. There's a weird story in the future about Batman versus Joker and everyone on the planet being Jokerized, which was all stupid, didn't care about. We found out that Joker knew about Batman Zur En Ar, which we sort of got a hint at before, and we see that Joker went under the same training that Bruce did to learn to create these other personalities. And here we are, and Batman's response is, "You're a liar." And Joker's like, "Maybe I am." But see, here's the problem. See, that real Batman out there, the true Batman, he's out there living your life, in your machine, in your cave, playing with your toys. So, doesn't really matter if you believe me or not. Like, this is going to be fun. So this new Failsafe Batman. So Zur En Ar has uploaded himself into the Failsafe machine and made some adjustments and is looking very creepy and very dark. He's becoming the new Batman, the Batman Gotham City deserves. And he's going in and he's arresting people using effectively his connection to the Bat computer. He's able to read and like, hey, I know who you are. This is what's going to happen. All right, and you're going to tell your friends that Batman's back. Meanwhile, Jason's going around figuring out what happened at that location that Batman Z was just at. And remember, Jason is currently under this modified fear toxin, where anytime his adrenaline spikes up, it activates and he gets scared. Well, apparently in Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing, which I'm not going to read. He got some Joker toxin, which effectively helps even that out. So anyway, going down there, he comes across Failsafe Batman, who's trying to convince him, "Hey, I'm Bruce. How you doing? I've been in a weird spot. I fought Batman Zur En Ar, but I had to load myself into this new body so I can fight the good fight." He's even sort of implying, like, you know, what I did to you was messed up. This whole thing recently has sort of messed with my head. I'm trying to make it right. And Jason's like, "That sounds really good." And he still doesn't quite believe him. And yeah, it didn't work out. Jason's down. Bruce breaks out of Blackgate. I think this is Blackgate. Blackgate or Arkham. It's hard to tell. It's hard to care. Because he's getting out of there. Wraps his face up because he can't have people knowing he's Bruce Wayne. Comes across Vandal Savage, who's always known who he is. Like, "Hey, man. How you doing? What you doing down here?" He's like, "So what are you planning?" "I plan to walk out of here soon enough. But you go ahead and try to do what you're going to do." So apparently there's more. The guards are, I guess, miniature fail-safes that zap the bat, and he's back in there. Meanwhile, Failsafe Batman, Batman Zur En Ar, Batman Z, BZ, I haven't found a name for him yet. He's making his announcement to Gotham City that, you know, hey, you deserve better. You deserve a real hero, a real proper Batman, and I'm here. I'm back. I'm better. I've hacked communication devices all over the city. So, yeah, it's a new day in Gotham City. Is it a new day? No, still no sunlight. So, yeah, it's the same day. And the whole Bat family's watching it. It's like, oh, this doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. Is that really Bruce? I don't know. Mayor Nakano, who is possibly the worst mayor Gotham City's ever seen, is talking to Commissioner Montoya. This has been a weird life for Gotham. She wants to turn the bat signal on, so maybe talk to Batman, figure out what's going on here. In her mind, hey, he's earned the right. He's helped save the city a couple times. To me, that's weird, because in this same run, she's been nothing but kind of hostile to Batman the whole time. Mayor Nakano is like, no, we don't talk to this man. He's dangerous. I don't like him. I'm anti-mask. And which actually anti-mask is kind of hilarious because this story, Mayor Nakano's run definitely happened during COVID. He's like, look, Renee, I'm telling you right now, you can't do this, right? The powers that be, all right, are not happy with this, and I'm just saying you can't turn that signal on. So Mayor Nakano has to be just a colossal joke in my mind. He is sort of endemic of the state of Gotham City and the state of the Batman books as a whole since post Tom King. Like, Mayor Nakano is not something I can lay at the feet of Tom King. And believe me, if I could blame Tom King for this, I would. But I'm not going to be that person. I'll be that person later. But Mayor Nakano is a Tinian creation. Tinian created this whole new wave of characters, like 4, I think. And they're all sort of designed to sort of be the sort of new fixtures in Gotham City. And Mayor Nakano goes off on a whole anti-vigilante crusade, which helped it led to him working with groups like the Magistrate and whatnot. So I don't know why people are trusting Nakano. I don't know, but whatever. He's apparently reporting to somebody else, so I guess he's not interesting after all. Meanwhile, Failsafe Batman, F Batman, Batman Z, Batman ZF, ZF Batman. Zero fat Batman, because he's a robot, so he has no fat. Alright, so anyway, he goes in, he arrests Riddler, he exposes Riddler. This is Edward Nygma, alright? He's caused the death of hundreds, millions of property damage. I'm taking care of him right now, alright? So, because I'm Batman. Zero fat Batman. Goes off, meets Damian, and says, hey, I'm Bruce. And how do you know I'm Bruce? How do I know you're Bruce? Well, when you first came to the manor, you had nightmares, and I sat with you till you fell asleep. And the next day, you'd act like it didn't happen. Dad? Sure, let's go with that. So anyway, everyone's watching like, maybe it is Bruce. And Jason's like, it sounded like Bruce. I'm like, yeah, but have you not been in the DC universe, Jason? So anyway, everything's going as it should. But anyway, Bruce is brought back to Daniel. Oh, why can I not remember his name? Daniel Carpchi? Capty. He is sort of he's back. When we last saw him, we pretty much thought he was dead. But apparently he's not. So he then explains it sort of exactly, hey, let me tell you my role in this from my perspective. And he's like, so Joker came to me and he talked about the other persona, the Zur En Ar Batman. And, I told him about him. So like, hey, look, you want to see him again, you're going to have to do some stuff, all right? You're going to have to push him, all right? Because let me tell you right now, Bruce, because it's pretty clear that Joker's always known Batman as Bruce Wayne. In this iteration, anyway. I was like, hey, look, that Batman's not going to come out unless you push him to his limit, all right? He says, here's what you're going to do, all right? You're going to kill a Robin. You're going to cripple... you're going to cripple, I mean legit cripple, the daughter of his other best friend, Commissioner Gordon. She may or may not be Batgirl. I'll let you figure out that matters to you. Or whether or not her brother told you to do it. Then you're going to look like Freddie Mercury, all right? In Grant Morrison's Batman run. You're going to be there to watch him go full Batman Zur En Ar. And then you're going to do Death of the Family. All right? After doing Death in the Family, you're going to do Death of the Family. And Joker reveals that he found something else out during Death of the Family. When he broke in the Wayne Manor and took Alfred and started working on him, Alfred confessed to a special sacred task that he has. Namely, in the event that the Failsafe protocol is activated, Alfred's the only one who can turn it off. And so Joker goes down there, finds the failsafe, and like, okay, I can work with this. And so he realizes, okay, so we'll kill Penguin. And so that's sort of how it goes. Penguin doesn't quite trust Joker, so it's a whole other issue in itself. But it's like, you know what, it's best to just play the game and see what happens. Capchi points out that, Batman and Joker are alike in the aspect that the only reason people are alive is because they haven't decided to kill them yet. They're both highly motivated, highly capable people, and where Joker sort of embraced that more, Bruce always sort of held on tight to that, sort of kept himself controlled. He hasn't gone over the edge. And Cap's like, so, here we are. I wasn't stupid, though. So one thing I did was I put that phrase that Joker used to activate Zur En Ar, was also a phrase used to get him to come get me. So yeah. Meanwhile, while Damian and ZF Batman ZF are working, other members of the Bat family try to stop him, try to figure out what's going on here. They even call Superman in to talk it out. And meanwhile, Bruce is like, okay, so I gotta try to figure out what's going on here. He's like, okay, so Zur En Ar is no longer in my head, so I can focus, I can think. So he sort of meditates, trying to figure out what's going on here, and trying to figure out what he can do. Also, Punchline is brought in, because Punchline has nothing to do ever since Joker War, really. Like, here's the thing. Because there's no real direction for Punchline, she will eventually fade into obscurity. She will. Like, she had her own book for a while, but I haven't heard any plans to bring that back. I think she's going to be in Gotham City Sirens, which weird. I think Harley's going to be there. I don't see the point of that. I don't see anything good coming from that. But anyway, Bruce capitalizes on this and is able to sort of muscle his way out. Meanwhile, Batman ZF goes in and arrests Harley. And honestly, this is kind of, I think, the best decision ever. Like, look, here's the thing. Whether or not you think Harley is redeemable or not, she's still a criminal. She's still done horrible things with or without any provocation from the Joker. So the idea she should be allowed to go around here like, hey, I'm a hero now. No. Heroes would serve their time. So go on. The idea is like Harley could do so much better for the world if she's out and about traumatizing people whose lives she's ruined. Okay. It's sort of weird. She's like, but you said I could be a hero. And Damien just sort of watched on kind of uncomfortable. Like, had you got to me like last year on this, I'd be more on board. But, yeah. So anyway, as Bruce sort of makes his way out through Arkham Asylum, he's like, okay, fine. I got to beat up everybody here. I'll beat up everybody here. Luck with some help from with a security guard. Hey, look, dude, it's crazy out there. I want to help. Let me help. All right. So he's able to fly out like a bat. Yeah, it's Arkham. It's Arkham. No, it's that's right. Arkham got renamed to Arkham Tower. I'm stupid. That's Blackgate. Meanwhile, in the Batcave, we get the reveal as to exactly sort of what Batman ZF is working on, and he's taken a Mazo. I'm like, okay, what we using a Mazo for? I'm like, look, I need help. So I got you, Damien, and I love you, son. But I'm gonna need some more help, because it's about to get wilder out there. And when they get crazy, we get crazier. Mayor Nakano's trying to figure out what's going on here, like what to do about the whole Batman thing. And he's like, okay, so, I started off this whole thing way more confident, way more capable. I had a wife. I got a kid. I ate ramen. The place I went to had the ramen too salty. Sorry, Mariko Tamaki was writing it at the time. And he's greeted by Superman, like, hey, how about I talk to Batman and figure out what's going on here? And he's like, hey, Bruce, what's going on? What's going on, man? And Superman's like, so, Barbara told me about the fact that you were, I'm sorry, I need to make sure I had this right, killed, and you upload your consciousness into a computer? Kind of hard for me to figure out. And I'm like, this is the hardest thing for you to figure out. You bastards, you died and came back. I'm like, but Zur En Ar sort of points out, like, I know it's hard for you to understand with your immeasurable strength and ageless power. In other words, at this point, Batman ZF is sort of making the case that, hey, you don't know what it's like to have a body that slows down, that ages, that breaks, that slows. This was the best solution for me to keep doing my work. Meanwhile, Vandal Savage is getting his time on the screen, so I think he's running for something. It might be Commissioner, which is weird. But anyway, he's going on like, look, so the only way for me to do what's best is if I'm at my best, and to be at my best is to be in this body. And so he goes off, and I'm like, okay, weird. Superman says, like, if it is, but at what cost? If you go too far, and Pepper ZF is like, you'll try and stop me, right? You can't stop me. And he goes off. I'm like, this is wild. And to be fair, the Failsafe protocol is designed to stop Superman as well. Like, it is sort of like the best, worst creation Bruce has ever made, and to be fair, it's pure Batman. Pure Batman is also pure paranoia and pure doesn't trust anyone. So, meanwhile, as it goes through, Damien tries to talk to Batman ZF, trying to figure out Batman, trying to figure out if this really is his dad or what. And he's pretty much connected to every electronic device in Gotham City. And this is sort of like, okay, someone said this is just Brother Eye on a smaller scale. I'm like, this is accurate. This is accurate. So it turns out that, yeah, it seems Vandal Savage is working to be commissioner. Oh, this is wild. Mayor Nakano, you just go from one bad decision to the next, don't you? You just suck, man. But you've also faded into the background, so it's not you anymore. Vandal Savage makes a beautiful plea to the people, a beautiful speech. One guy like, no, you killed my friends. Makes the shot. Batman Zero Fat shows up like, no. He's like, I don't trust you, Vandal, but I'm watching you, man. Waller, meanwhile, was watching this whole thing go on too. Was like, I don't think that's Batman. Call me crazy, but that Batman is not Bruce Wayne. I'm just got that feeling. So let's watch him. Let's watch him. Meanwhile, our Bruce is going off in a truck to Happy Harbor, Rhode Island, which was one of the homes for the Justice League of America. One of the oldest homes, actually. And he remembers working with Barry. Well, trying to not work with Barry as Barry sort of works his way in, and like say, hey, let me help you. Let me help you out here. Let me help you. Trying to make a new sort of smoke grenades, a new form of gas pellet. I can help you with that. Let me help you. It's sort of interesting, too, because during Tom King's run, we saw Bruce and Barry just stop being friends. Like, at one point, what was it, the Price of Justice? Barry thought, so like, look, do not talk to me. All right? Like, hey, we're out saving the world? Fine, we'll do that. But after that, we're done. And that's never been repaired. So this is a nice memory to a simpler time. So meanwhile, Waller sends a task force into Wayne Manor, apprehended, and it doesn't go well. And meanwhile, Batman Zero Fat goes and talks to Capty, to the good doctor, who's now serving as the warden of the new asylum. Because what better place for him? And he's like, you should be concerned about Bruce. He's like, I'm not concerned about him. You really should. Like, look, I know you both, and let me tell you right now, he's not going to stop. You know he escaped Arkham Asylum, and you're not going looking for him. You're making a big mistake. And you could argue this is, again, sort of a hubris of pure Batman. Pure Batman does respect Bruce Wayne. He doesn't. Because pure Batman is only the skill set of Bruce Wayne, and lacking any sort of the principles and everything else. I've always said that the most outdated thing is that Batman is the real face. The real face is Bruce Wayne. Really is. Because everything Batman does, everything Batman stands for, is because Bruce Wayne wants it to be that way. Alright? The Playboy isn't the real person. That's 100% true. But this mass vigilante going around beating up people isn't the real one either. So anyway, Damon realizes he cannot trust. I am totally wrong. Damien fights off Waller, and Waller and Batman ZF have a talk, but hey, what's going on here? Waller has a proposal. Hey, access to some stuff here, and there's going to be another deal with the devil here. And honestly, I can't see Bruce making this agreement either way. We'll save that for absolute power. Meanwhile, as Bruce holds out at his nice little cabin in the middle of nowhere, he recounts training with Tim. And Tim, who's been the rising star in Zdarsky's run, has actually been like the most beautiful shining light this whole time. And he remembers teaching him archery, and Tim getting frustrated that he's not getting it right. And he acts like, hey, I know it'll take time, but I want to be good as quickly as possible. And Tim asks a big question. How good was Dick? And Bruce points out Dick was a natural, alright? He grew up in a circus, like everything that I need to teach you. Dick pretty much grew up in that environment. So it was sort of par for the course. He's also viewed it as fun. Everything was new. I think for Dick Grayson, being Robin was one part therapy, one part super fun. It was an adventure. He got to be a superhero. With Jason, it really was, I think, about being a superhero. And then he saw, like, hey, we should be doing more. Depending on how you view it. Tim sort of views Robin as an honor, a privilege. It's a duty. And he wants to be worthy of that duty. So his frustration, I think, makes sense. And Bruce himself sort of points out that, Um, Dick was a natural, and he was a natural too, but Tim really had to work at it. And now, at the way he is now, he's older, he's more, he's slowing down. Remember, he's got a robot hand, which is still hasn't really played a real role here. He's like, I'm gonna have to work too. I'm gonna have to put in more work. Dave, meanwhile, starts talking more to dad or father, and like, what's going on here? And he's like, yeah, I knew you would do it. I knew you'd be able to handle Waller's men. And it turns out the Amazos are being uploaded with the Zur En Ars of the multiverse. So in other words, the Adam West Batman Zur En Ar, the Batman animated series Zur En Ar, the Frank Miller Zur En Ar Batman, they're all being loaded into the consciousness of these Amazos, in the minds of these Amazos. And that's when Damien goes, oh, you're not my dad? Yeah, we all kind of knew that. So he goes to fight him off, like, yeah, kid, I don't know what made you think that. You couldn't beat your regular dad? You think you can beat your pure bat dad? No. It's like, yeah, so it turns out I need a better Robin, too. So he's got another Robin. And it's weird because this definitely looks like an old Tim Drake costume, which I think is appropriate for the setup here. So as Bruce is being emo, Tim shows up, like, hey, man, how you doing? You're not eating. I got bread. I got sandwich meat. Got lettuce. Let's eat. And this is what Tim does. Tim is like the duty of care Rob. Like, hey, man, what you need? I got you. He is sort of like where he and Dick have sort of like the relationship that's pretty much is set on equals. Tim has always sort of been the epitome of Robin. Like, hey, whatever Batman needs, I'll get him. He needs a partner. He needs a detective. He needs someone to hold off the goons. I can do that. All right? And I work hard to do that. He's been Bruce's partner longer than anyone. So it's nice to see that sort of camaraderie come back here, that at his lowest, one person who never lost any faith in him, but was also critical of him, was Tim. And so that works. I think it's because if you go through a lot of the older comics, whenever Tim doubted himself, Bruce was always right there, like, no. So here's what's going to happen. Whenever Tim is like, you tell me, you write down, like, everything you don't like about yourself, and I will come back and I will prove each one of those things wrong. All right? And that's their dynamic. So meanwhile, as they go through, Bruce sort of starts confessing as to exactly what's been going on here. He's pointing out that, hey, Zur En Ar seems to have infected his mind for a while. And as much as he trusts the family, as much as he trusts Tim, Dick, Jason, Barbara, Steph, Cass, Duke, Damien, Zur planted the fear. All right, and the nightmare, like the scene he had at the end of one story where the entire Bat family is on fire, that was planted by Zur. And it sort of made him sloppy. It made him susceptible to Zur's influence. Zur kept influencing the whole time. We saw that over the course of the whole Gotham War thing. And so now, with this new hodgepodge suit, he's like, we're going to go out there and we're going to put that monster down. And that's how the comic ends. Ultimately, the Batman Dark Prison story is interesting. And I think the problem with Zdarsky's Batman run isn't sort of Bruce. Like, Bruce and Batman, I think, are a great dynamic here. I think he has a good voice for it, especially for the sort of back and forth he's going between a Batman that is created by Bruce Wayne from the ground up, to a sort of pure Batman, which is skills and the mission, and it's a war, and everything short of killing, I think makes him sort of uninteresting. These two going back and forth at it, like, there's no time for friends, family, it's only the mission. I think the downside is we see events that sort of are there just for the sake of setting up other things. Like, Gotham War doesn't delve enough into, I think, the dynamic between Batman, Bruce, Zur En Ar, and even Catwoman, I think, as well as the Bat family. Like, these stories never get to reach their full conclusion, and we do sort of... Oh, gee, what was her name? What's the name of the lady on the Catwoman book? For some reason, I can't remember her name. She sort of had a different direction for her story, too. Like, it didn't feel like they really collaborated, and they needed to. Or at the very least, if they did, they needed to do it better. Overall, though, I'm still excited about this. I think Zdarsky's Batman run is more personal. which is weird because Tinian was trying to go for personal too, but he really went even more over the top with the whole Gotham War and Fear State, and the whole idea is that Bruce is still low-key grieving the loss of Alfred, but that also takes a back seat to all the spectacle and explosions and whatnot. Zdarsky's Batman was trying to be much more intimate, while at the same time trying to gradually be bigger. So now we see Batman, or Bruce, versus the idea of Batman, this perversion of Batman by being too much Batman. Alright, and not enough Bruce Wayne. So anyway, that's my thoughts on it. What'd you think about it? If you're new to the Bucket Think Tank, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. Smash the thumbs up button. I'll catch you all later. This is Bucket Think Tank signing off. Thanks for watching. As always, may your fandom serve you well.